call of the Hawks can be heard all the way to San Francisco.
You're listening to Pod at the Palace with Curtis Wilkerson on Inside Arkansas.
Welcome in to the Pod at the Palace post-game live reaction show presented by SARACEN, Arkansas's _1 sports betting app. Curtis Wilkerson and Andrew Ellis here with you on this late Tuesday night following Arkansas's 93-68 win over Vanderbilt. Kim Palm's going to love that one. We've already got some heaters in the chat. Appreciate everybody for hanging out with us late this evening. Get your comments, get your hot takes in there. We'll make sure we get to them a little bit quicker than normal this evening. It was belt to backside at Bud Walton Arena from start to finish. A dominant performance from Arkansas, who, as John Calipari likes to say, told on themselves again. A reminder of what this team is capable of. Jekyll and Hyde type of stuff. They were in the right direction with it tonight. We call this a gut check game for both of these teams coming in. Arkansas responded in a big way. Impressive stuff from the Razorbacks. Love seeing Arkansas be the buzzsaw for a change instead of getting buzzsawed in this exact spot. They overwhelmed Vanderbilt. They defended. They picked up a much-needed statement type of win. I think that this was pretty clearly the best Arkansas has looked all season in a complete team victory. Good stuff by the Hogs.
Yeah, I was just about to say, man, I think we have a new #1 performance. You know, the Texas Tech game being on, in a neutral site is probably the biggest, most important win Arkansas has on its resume, but this one's going to look pretty good, especially with the margin of victory. You'll do the player grades tomorrow, Curtis, and I don't want to step on your toes, but I think this is going to be the first time all year all 8 guys in Arkansas's rotation are going to get a good grade. Not just a serviceable, playable. All 8 guys in the rotation gave Arkansas something, gave Arkansas some good minutes in this game. Even Nick Pringle, even DJ Wagner, who was awesome in his new role off the bench, man. There's a lot of performances, a lot of things we can point to in this one. Arkansas took great care of the basketball, rebounded really well. They were the more physical team, and we kind of expected that coming in. They went back to taking great care of the basketball, which is what they do at home. And I think the story in this one is now Vanderbilt has played 3 SEC road games, 64 points and 68 points in their last 2. You see that it works on both sides, where other teams come into Bud Walton and they kind of do what you do on the road. But Arkansas put themselves in this position. Really important performance that starts a really important stretch for Arkansas where they could rack up some wins here in SEC play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt about it, man. And a lot of the frustration that a lot of folks felt, that I felt after that Georgia game, was that's just not indicative of what we know this team is capable of doing, especially on defense. They sat down and guarded tonight, man, against this is a top 5 offense in the country. They've got an electric backcourt with Tyler Tanner and Duke Miles. And based on everything we've seen from Arkansas up to this point, didn't look like a good matchup, but they sat down and they defended. It's kind of like we said, if Arkansas just gives max effort on that end of the floor, they've got a high floor. Maybe they'll never be a great defensive team, but they don't have to be with the way that they score it. They just got to go all out because they're so athletic. They're so long. They can be disruptive. They can keep a ball handler in front of them. So when they don't do it, it's frustrating. They told on themselves. I was happy to see it. Now let's see them do that a little bit more consistently, take the show on the road, and we'll worry about that at a different time. Right now we're reacting to this game, and that was emphatic, man. It was a spot for both of these teams where you feel like the winner kind of reestablishes itself in that upper crust of the SEC, and the loser is kind of looking around going, yeah, we're still good. We're okay big picture, but we really got some stuff that we got to figure out to get where we want to be. So kudos to Arkansas for showing up in this spot. Let's talk about the lineup change, Andrew, because it was big. And I'm not saying that's the reason why Arkansas won, but nobody thought that John Calipari was going to do it. I see our friend Katz is in here. He said hell would freeze over before DJ Wagner came out of the lineup. Well, DJ Wagner came out of the lineup. The man has started 82 of 83 games in his college career, 64 straight, and Cal brought him off the bench. He inserted Malik Thomas, and it was a risky move because Leak's entire hand is bandaged up and wrapped up. He comes out, bombs away. Arkansas gets off to a better start than they have been, and then DJ comes off of the bench and has arguably his best performance of the season. Every button that Cal pushed in this game, he pushed the right one, and he got the right response that he was looking for. Really impressed with Arkansas, and I agree with you. Maybe the first time this year where we can look at all 8 guys and go, damn, they all made really positive contributions in a winning effort.
Yeah, credit to both guys in this equation for being adults. Both guys held up their end of the bargain because, you don't know what it's like. Malik Thomas has been playing some pretty good basketball off the bench. You didn't know if that would carry over to the starting lineup. I thought he was very in control, made a lot of really good decisions. He finished with 5 assists in this game, knocked down 3 threes. he was a very smart, high IQ version of himself. You see why almost all of Arkansas's best 5-man lineups include Malik Thomas. Arkansas is just better on both ends when he's on the floor. And credit to DJ, man. You talk about how many games he started in his career, the only one being being due to injury. You know, there's a lot of guys around the country that would not have handled it well when a guy that you're very close with, a guy that your dad played for, a guy that you followed to Fayetteville, that has believed in you at every step, he's coming to you and saying, hey, man, we're going in a different direction. We're putting you on the bench. We're changing your role. He handled it like an adult, and he is an adult. I mean, that's what we praise about DJ Wagner. Even when he hasn't played well this year, it's not because he's forcing the issue. He just hasn't made shots, you know, or hasn't had a great matchup defensively, but like he's been playing hard. He hasn't been pouting. He's been doing the right things, and I was really happy to see the basketball gods kind of come in his favor today in this one. And like we said, all 8 guys play well. When you literally everyone in your rotation does their job well, you know, you're going to have a good chance to win. I thought all the members in the front court did that as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I was so happy for DJ, man, when he checked into the game and he immediately just like he catches the ball, rips through, he drives it hard to the rim and then drops it off and gets the assist. And then, you know, his second touch, he it's almost like he tripped over his own feet or tripped over somebody else. He's fallen down and he pops one over there to the wing and it's a rhythm 3 for Acuff. So it's a couple of, you know, assists right away. And I'm thinking, good. He needs to be able to check in and kind of just manage, be the floor general for that second unit a little bit. But then he got himself going. He was getting downhill and finishing a little bit for a change. He had the dunk in there and a little bit of traffic. He was knocking down some threes. So really good to see from DJ. He had a big smile on his face out there. Like you said, he's an adult and he took it in stride. And I think, you know, it's 1 game sample size. We'll see what he looks like on Saturday. But I do think that the best version of him for this team might be in the role that he was in tonight. And that's not just, you know, hindsight. We've been saying that for a little bit now. It's good to see. The change that wasn't made, Andrew, was Nick Pringle remained the starting 5-man for Arkansas in this game. Malik Ewing came off the bench. Okay, fine. If you look at how this shook out, Malik Ewing plays 24 minutes. Nick Pringle plays 16. Ewing goes out there and does what he does. He has 16 points. He was 5 or 6 from the field, impacting things on the offensive end. Got off to a little bit of a slow start. Like Cal says, that motor wasn't necessarily running hard, you know, out of the gates there. But I thought he wound up playing a great game, dunking a bunch of lobs. But Nick Pringle, all we ask of Nick Pringle is what he gave Arkansas tonight. It's nothing crazy, right? He plays 16 minutes. He gets 8 points. He's 4-4. He scored the first points of the game. He scored the first points of the second half. And when Darius Acuff throws him a lob, he dunks it. That's all you got to do. Rebound the basketball, push people around in there. And if you can get that tandem doing that, then you've got a pretty decent situation in the front court at the 5. Maybe the second time now this year where both of those guys have played well on the same night.
Yeah, spot on. And it's not like you're asking either of these guys really to reinvent the wheel or do something they're not capable of doing. For Nick Pringle, it's very simple. Just take care of the opportunities that are right there in front of you. I thought he did a really good job. And listen, 16 minutes is probably right around where he should be playing. Because, I mean, listen, that's a fair amount. You have an impact on the game. You're starting both halves, and he started both halves well. Love the minutes distribution, and I love that Coach Cal trusted Malik Ewing after his slow start, because he definitely, I mean, Arkansas had given up 2 points and Malik Ewing came in the game. All of a sudden, it's like Vanderbilt has 15 points on the board in 2 minutes, and I was really worried he was going to get the quick hook, especially down the stretch in the first half. Yeah. Cal lets him play through it. He ends up, I mean, in the second half, I thought Malik Ewing was one of Arkansas's best players. I thought he was really good, really took advantage and threatened Vanderbilt in the pick and roll game a lot. And you just see both guys. They're different. They're not the same player. They have different strengths and weaknesses. Sometimes they might have to play together. Sometimes it might be one guy's night or the other, but it was good to see both of them kind of bring in what they can. And credit to Trevin also, because he's the guy that we don't talk about a ton in this equation, because he has to play with both of these guys. He has to kind of tailor his game to both of their skill sets depending on how it plays out. I thought Trevin was really awesome. What do you have, 9 rebounds in the first half or something crazy like that? I thought he was really physical, which just, this was a matchup. You're not facing a dominant front court. This is one where Arkansas's front court looked pretty dominant.
Yeah, they absolutely did. And it's beautiful to see, because Vanderbilt has struggled against the bigger, more physical teams they played this year. Florida really gave it to them in the paint. Well, of course they did. That's the best front court in the country. Texas has got that 7-footer that really gave them hell, I thought, in there. Arkansas, they've got some talented dudes in there, but nobody's really looked at him this season and been like, Razorback front court, man, I don't know. So it was good to see all of those guys respond in the fashion that they did. Yeah, shout out to Trevin. Last year against Vanderbilt and against some of those same players, he had 16 points and 14 rebounds. And it just seems silly to me that we look up in an SEC game with Trevin this year where he's stronger and more experienced. And frankly, he's a better version than he's ever been of himself. And he's got like 2 rebounds against Georgia. And you're thinking, come on, man, that's an effort thing. And so he was getting after it on the glass in this game. He had a couple blocks. I wish we would have had one more. Had a couple steals. He has, 10 points, 14 rebounds. A hell of a bounce back performance for him. He was also low key throwing some dimes out there. Arkansas has 25 assists to 7 turnovers in this game, Andrew. At one point in the second half, we looked at each other and we were talking about it saying, okay, Arkansas's got 17 assists right now. Darius Acuff only has 1 of them. That's really, really good offense, and it's encouraging. And like you said, that's a tough look for all the people who are saying that Arkansas is only going to go as far as Acuff takes them, or they're so dependent on him to get them going offensively. For a decent stretch of this game, I thought Acuff might have been Arkansas's weak link. Now, not defensively, but offensively, which is weird. And then you look up at the end, he leads the team in scoring. He's 50% from the field. He hits 3 threes. He has 5 assists. He only turns over 2 times. So he winds up actually having a great game, and he sat down and guarded Tyler Tanner too. Really happy to see that from Acuff.
Yeah, what was it, a B- game out of Acuff? I mean, you'll grade it tomorrow, but like a B- type of performance. And he thoroughly outplays the other SEC Player of the Year candidate, who Arkansas, such a good job on him and Duke Miles. Mm-hmm. I mean, just tremendous job. And, Vandy has their own issues, but Acuff is also, he had 0 assists in the first half. And I saw a few people in the chat that were like, man, I felt like he should have had more assists. Like, I thought that he made some good passes. In the second half, I thought he was much better at getting his teammates involved. You just look at down the box score, Curtis. We make fun of Cal sometimes for saying to go get balls. Just go attack the balls. We always he says that a lot, but you look at a lot of these guys. Malik Thomas, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, gets in a passing lane, gets a steal, getting his hand on the ball and valuing the basketball. Darius Acuff, 5 assists, taking care of the basketball. Trevin Brazile, 5 assists as well, 2 steals, 4 blocks, getting his hand on the basketball and valuing it. Arkansas with only 6 or 7 turnovers. It's just really impressive stuff. It's hard to create these high-level looks on the defensive end while also taking care of it on the offensive side of the ball. You're adding in some good shooting on top of it. That's how you get a lopsided result like this, man. It's really impressive.
Yeah, Arkansas, this is a Vanderbilt offense that came in number 4 in the country in efficiency. They were top 10 in the nation in scoring offense. They just scored 94 points on Florida. Arkansas holds them to 68 in this game. They hold them under 40% from the field, 32% from 3. And this is a good 3-point shooting Vanderbilt team. Hell, if they just guarded Tyler Nickel in the first half, they wouldn't have given up very many threes. But a great job by Arkansas, man. Just team defense, and then just sitting down. Sometimes you got to just take a little bit of responsibility and pride in your assignment and guarding your man. I thought they really did that in this game. Everybody that was out there, Tyler Tanner, SEC Player of the Year candidate. Well, he didn't look like it tonight because Arkansas did a great job on him, held him to 3 of 10 from the floor, turned him over 3 times. Duke Miles, a guy who's averaging almost 18 a game for him. They got him in foul trouble. They were aggressive with him. He could not guard Malik Thomas, and he goes 1 of 7 in this game. Great job. Tyler Nickel was the only one he was the only reason they were even remotely still in the game at halftime. The dude goes like 5 of 6 from 3 in the first half, didn't hit a 3 in the second half. So they recognized it. They made an adjustment, and they shut that stuff down in the second half. So good on Arkansas from a defensive standpoint. One more guy that we got to give some flowers to, Carter Knox. It wasn't the only change in the starting lineup that Malik Thomas came in for DJ. They put Carter back in there for Billy, and that might have been the best that he looked all season. Knocking down a couple threes, which you love to see, but I always thought, Carter Knox is so good around the rim, and he's had a hard time getting there off the bounce. Well, what was he doing today? Basket cuts, man. Arkansas drives, somebody's getting in the paint. There comes Carter from the baseliner. Here comes Carter from the wing, and his guys were finding him, and he was really finishing there. I thought he did a great job defensively. That was super notable from Carter. I still don't know what happened to him. Somebody let us know in the chat if you haven't already said it. Was he throwing up? Did he get hit in the face? I have no idea, but it was good to see him come back out there and have a hell of a game for Arkansas.
Yeah, you nailed it in the difference between trying to take guys off the bounce and making smart cuts off ball and having your teammates find you. One, it's just nice to get that assisted bucket, and Arkansas had a ton of team assists tonight. What is it, 25, 26? That always makes you feel good as a team, but for Carter, that's what we've been saying since the offseason. everybody was talking. We had high expectations for Carter, and we thought he would, maybe average a few more points per game or whatever. But we didn't want it to be this, hey, we're going to center offense around you. You just got to go find your looks. I think we were talking pregame, and I was like, dude, I feel like Carter and Trevin should combine for 5 3-point attempts each. Just let them fly. Find your looks throughout the game and let teams know they have to defend you everywhere. And for Carter, he was able to do that without demanding the basketball, without having offense run for him, having his number called, without dribbling. Those are plays that not only are going to help him in his draft stock and help his value for this team, but it's also very easy to play with a guy like that. There is not a lineup that Arkansas can run out there where Carter Knox can't help them when he's playing the way that he was playing tonight. I believe all 4 of his rebounds came in the first half too. He was a lot more physical in the first half before whatever happened, but then he was so smart and so effective off ball that he was able to score a ton in the second half. Really effective stuff. And I see someone just pointed out he did hit his Saracen prop there at the end. Shout out to who was it? Was somebody dunk. I think it was maybe a Malik Ewan dunk. Malik Ewan, another guy that had like
there were like a
7
dozen
assists.
of them, so you have plenty to pick from. But yeah,
I was like Malik Ewan had a ton of assisted looks right around the rim. Those help your morale. Those help your chemistry. Those get everyone involved and get everyone going.
No doubt about it. Hey, shout out to our newest post-game sponsors here at the Pod at the Palace. It's Fight House Gym in Northwest Arkansas. It's the #1 boxing, MMA, and strength training gym in Northwest Arkansas, built for athletes, competitors, and anyone ready to push their limits. From high-energy boxing and MMA training to free weights, elite cardio equipment, sleds, and cross-training, Fight House Gym delivers everything you need to train at the highest level. Push your body to the edge, then recover like a pro with their cold plunge and saunas designed to keep you strong and ready for more. This isn't just a gym, it's a mindset. Fight House Gym is now open at 10131 Webb Way in Fayetteville. It's exit 58 off I-49. Sign up today at fighthousegym.com or call 951-623-9745 and step inside and bring the fight. Okay. It looks like we have I pulled it back up. It looks like we have a nice little, and I pulled up the OZK ad, didn't I?
That's why I threw the Fight House and then it doubled up. Whatever.
Thank you. Yeah, no, thank you. Let's see. We've got an update on Malik Thomas and his hand. So I want to play that real quick from John. The press conference is going on there.
Hand's great.
Okay.
That hit?
Hand's great.
His hand's great. All right, got it.
All right. Hey, we're not talking about it.
Yeah, I guess he's doing all right there. We're having some button glitches over here, man. This is crazy.
You're just throwing me all around, man.
Yeah, I got to get you out of here, man. Well, yeah, I mean, it looked great to me. We were watching him in warm-ups, Andrew, and it was like he's making a bunch of shots. That's great. But at the same time, it's like it didn't look like he really wanted to catch it with his left hand. Didn't look like he really wanted to bounce it with his left hand. Was kind of wondering what that was going to look like. Well, to his point there, it looked great. That was really, really impressive stuff from Malik Thomas when I really wasn't sure leading up to tip-off exactly what that was going to look like.
Might have been his best ball handling game. Like he actually,
Honestly,
and like there were some times where you could tell Vanderbilt was like almost trying to force him to dribble with his left hand. He had no problem getting downhill. Of course, the three-point shooting is always going to be the headliner with him. He's getting better at attacking closeouts and doing some stuff off the bounce because much.
Yeah. No, he looked really, really good in there. Couple other things I wanted to point out from this one. Points in the paint. Arkansas 50-22 in the paint in this game, an advantage. That's dominance in there. Yeah, that's something that we've been waiting to see. It was also nice to see, we talked about Arkansas and the ball movement and the assists. You get 25 of them. That's a great number against a pretty good defense, but cutting those turnovers down to 7, that's more about, closer to where they live. They're in that 9 to 10 range in most games. And, they went down to Georgia and had 18 of them and it was careless. So they really got that back under wraps. And you pointed this out. As good as Arkansas defended, they didn't have to create too much havoc or too much chaos. They only turned Vanderbilt over 10 times. They were just sitting down, guarding them, forcing tough shots, and then getting the rebounds. It was nice. They gave up. It wasn't a big offensive rebounding game for either team, I don't guess. 9 for Vanderbilt and 10 there for the Razorbacks.
Well, I think, Vanderbilt's a team that the metrics have loved, and we use that term metrics a lot. They are a metric darling because they do so many things well. That's what's also going to help this performance so much. Curtis, would you like a KenPom update for the Arkansas Razorbacks?
Sure.
They are now up to 21. I don't know what they were before, but they're now 21 in KenPom, number 5 offensively and number 49 defensively.
Oh, that's
so
a big
pretty
jump
huge jump. They were in the high 60s, maybe even close to 70 not that long ago. Yeah, they're now a top 50 defense in the country.
That's really good. That's good to see because they were down Yeah, I think they were as low as like 68th or something. I want to say they were 63rd coming into this game, but that's a big time jump there for Arkansas. Good. I'm anxious to see what it looks like in the net and everything. Do we have some final scores in the SEC, by the way?
I believe Auburn ended up taking care of business at Ole Miss. Georgia wound up winning that game in Missouri.
Oh, wow.
So that's a pretty not a bad loss for 78-66 for Auburn, 74-72 for Georgia.
That's a big win there for Georgia. I was hoping Ole Miss would get that win because that would have bumped them up probably to a quad one for Arkansas. But they got one of those quad 1As here tonight. So that's a good one there. Good one there for the Razorbacks. Let's see. Do we want to get into some chats? It's late, so I don't want to wait too long.
The vibes are great, and I saw we had some memberships being given out. So we'll
good. Oh, I like that. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us. So let's get into the chats, and I think John will probably have producer John will probably have a few more clips from us whenever we talk to Cal, and we'll get into that for sure. Let's see. From Hairless Hog, a hog of his word, says Mark from Market Down is going to have fun with this dunk fest. Probably so. Hell, did they wind up on a dozen or did they wind up getting more?
Let's see real quick. Arkansas finished 13 of 15 on dunks, 9 of 12 on layups. I don't know if I've ever seen a team attempt and make more dunks than layups.
That's crazy. A bunch of lobs in there. I'm trying to remember. I know that Trevin missed a dunk, that lob that he just never really fully gathered. Who else missed?
Acuff tried to put someone through the rim, I think.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
He didn't really even get close to the rim, and I think they just counted it a dunk attempt.
Tyler Tanner tried to dunk on Malik Ewan at one point in that game, and that was funny to see. But
dude, it's funny that at halftime, neither point guard, both the top two guys for SEC Player of the Year, I'd say, neither one of them were doing anything at halftime.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. Ozzy's in here. Ozzy says a bad night to be a Pythagorean theorem. Hey, the metrics love that one, man. They needed it, frankly. When you take a couple, 14 and 20 some odd point losses on the road, there's one way to make it up. It's to serve one up to somebody when you get back home. So they did that. Good on them.
What do you think the NBA draft guys are going to think coming out of this game? Are they just going to be like, you know what, a lot of steals from Tyler Tanner, so he's a lotto guy, and Darius Acuff, who had a 50-40-90 game, sucks?
Yeah, probably. I saw I don't even know who it was, but it popped up in my For You, and it was like rank these point guard NBA draft prospects, and it was like Kingston Flemings and Darius Acuff and Tyler Tanner, and you probably saw it too. I can't Bennett Sturts. There's like 6 different guys. Damn near everyone that responded had Acuff either 5th or 6th out of the 6 guys there. And I was just like, I don't know. And I no shade on either. So LeBaron Philon was another one in there.
He's the worst prospect out of all these guys, by the way.
I would agree. Hell of a college player. And we're talking about SEC Player of the Year. He's absolutely in that conversation. Sure. But yeah, pro prospects. I don't know. But this one had to have helped Acuff's, the defensive questions that people had about him. I thought he sat down and guarded in ways that he hasn't most of the season. Pretty impressive.
And also, there was a very clear effort from Acuff to be physical with Tanner.
Yeah.
He was trying to big boy him a little bit.
Yeah.
He was big boying him a little bit for sure, and even to his own detriment a little bit early, but he wanted to make it clear, like, hey, I'm stronger than this dude. I can get whatever shot I want against this guy. I think it was you that said if these guys played one-on-one, it would just be whoever got the ball first because neither can guard each other, which is still true, but, like, I think Acuff definitely handled himself
way better
well
than I thought he would. Yes, he did way better than I thought he would. That was awesome to see, man. The student section says John the Slob Wizard Calipari.
I don't know what this means.
I feel like we get one of these at
sideline out of bounds. Sideline out of bounds.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, fair enough.
That's on us for seeing Slob and being like, oh, what does he mean by that?
Credit to Malik Ewan. Right at the end of the game, hit a little bit of a try to do the dribble handoff with Acuff. Both guys go with Acuff, and he just hits the little spin move on him. Oh,
beautiful, man. Let's see here. Lanky, we appreciate you for the super chat, says Curtis was definitely onto something with DJ running the second unit. Bud Walton is also a version of hell for opposing teams. Been known that, though. Yeah, no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for pointing out that I was onto something with that. I was onto a lot of things in the positive, but I also at the end of the pregame show said I think Arkansas is going to lose the game, and they're just going to have to prove me wrong. Well, they did. I'm so happy they did, by the way.
To be fair,
hell
I'll
of
give
a
you some credit.
performance.
You had already, before tip-off happened, you had already come around and realized Arkansas was winning the game.
Yeah. Well, it took like the first 8 minutes to know that it was going to be over with. You know what I mean? Yeah, and you saw the way that Vanderbilt looked out there, and Arkansas just did the thing where they overwhelmed them in Bud. And that's beautiful. I want to see them take that show on the road now. Like, that's the next step in the evolution for this basketball team or whatever, is take that show on the road and show that you can. I'm not saying go play at Vanderbilt and beat them by 25, but just get off to better starts. It's, Auburn and Georgia. I get that it's away, but you knew that those were such big spots, and to be so like uninterested in being there for the entire first halves of those games, it's like, what the hell is really going on here? So I'm glad that they showed they still got that killer instinct in them. You would expect them to at home. They proved it. Good on them.
Listen, Auburn and Georgia are two dangerous teams, and so I'm not going to say it's an easy task beating any of those guys anywhere, honestly. You're going to go on the road to Oklahoma. What you just did tonight was a substantially harder task than winning in Norman. Just don't mess around. Like, that is a perfect – if you're trying to get your road slump buster, Norman, Oklahoma is where you want to play.
Yeah. No, I mean,
by the way, they fell to 1-5 in the SEC tonight. So, like, really – if they lose in Norman next week, and we'll be there, we'll be bringing the vibes.
Yep.
That's when I'm going to be really infuriated with this home road thing.
We truly cannot let that happen. We're going to get back to your chats here, and then we'll get into some more clips from the press conference. But got to give a shout out to our partners. I'm pulling up Fight House just because I feel like I owe them one for a second here. Make sure you go there and check them out. All right, this is the right overlay for them. A really, really cool place. And hey, if you're into UFC and MMA and all that, they're going to finally start having those cards again for people to watch. It's been like 2 months since they've had any real fights over there. You might get the itch and you want to go in there and mix it up a little bit. But OZK Insurance, right? The beautiful app that they've got going on over there now. We know it's a couple things that set them apart. One, it's that they're an independent insurance agency, so they're not tied to just one company, and they're going to shop all those carriers to find the best coverage and price for you. And two, they now have something you just don't see from an independent agency, which is that full service mobile app. With the OZK Insurance app, you can see all of your policies under one roof. You can pay the bills. You can request roadside assistance, file claims, request policy changes. You can even get new quotes all there from the convenience of your phone. So if you're tired of being stuck with one carrier or chasing down paperwork, go to ozkinsurance.com or search OZK Insurance in the App Store or Google Play. It's a local agency with national level options, one powerful app. That's OZK Insurance. All right, let's hop back into it. Let me find my place again. And there we are. T Razorback says Nickel was cash in the first half and broke in the second half. Well, it's because they decided to guard him. It's funny because it's one of the things that I said. It's like, if I had confidence that Arkansas would realize that this guy's the best shooter in the SEC and they would just stick one guy on him and leave it at that, then I would have given, like my matchup preview, I would have given Billy the nod over this dude because I think he's an all-around better player. But I didn't. I went with Tyler Nickel because I was like, I just know that he's going to just be wide open for threes way more often than he should be, and he's not going to miss them in there. And, buddy, he didn't. So in the first half, there were 2 instances where Arkansas ran away from him. There was a defender there who turned and ran away from him and allowed him to shoot a three. Malik Ewan was one of them. I can't remember who the other was. I want to say it was Carter, but it's just like you can't do that in a spot like this. But yes, they gave up 5 threes to Nickel. He had 17 of their 35 points at halftime, and he had 6 of their 13 made field goals. And it was like, okay, he's hit his average already, so let's lock him up. And they did. He did nothing in the second half, to your point.
Yeah, they were treating him like he had COVID in the first half a little bit, just outright running away from him. But, hey, you kind of knew him. By the way, Cal was going nuts. It wasn't one of those things. You mentioned you said something funny to me in the second half. You said, Cal's coaching tonight. Like he's in there locked in. He's like actually talking to the guys. He about killed Malik Ewan a couple times.
Yes.
But like he was livid after a couple of those. Clearly a conversation they had at halftime. You like to see that. Yeah,
he was getting after it. It was funny because at one point, I think Arkansas just took it from 17 to 20, had a really good offensive possession, and Cal was doing like a full-on dance on the sideline, like looking at the bench and celebrating a little bit. And that's when I think it was Tanner immediately went down in transition and knocked down his only 3 of the game, and Cal didn't even see it happen. And it was one of those where the crowd was going crazy, and then, they hit a 3 and it settles you down. It like gives you the opportunity to have a seat for a minute. And so the whole crowd just stops. He's in the middle of his dance, and I was like, I saw that, man. Good on him, though. Good on him. Let's see. From Derek, he says, effort wins. Simple as that. Effort, damn it. Yes. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, when they go all out like that, they're a tough team to handle. Very tough team to deal with. If they're going to play like that defensively, they can do some of the things that we've talked about them doing.
Yeah.
Hopefully
I love the ball movement is the big thing for me. Like, I just love how many people were involved in everything they were doing, which takes effort, by the way. It takes effort to move the ball around, and good to see Arkansas taking that effort on both ends, man.
Right. No doubt about it. I wanted to pull this up. I like Brandon Penny. I've seen him in the chat quite a bit. I think this is a really lazy take, though. He says, don't start loving the Hogs again. Y'all are crying like UK fans after the last game. Did Arkansas play like this in the last game? The answer is unequivocally no. Anyone who was frustrated by the way that they played against Georgia, fully justified to feel the way they did. They didn't go there and battle and go through a war and lose a 1-possession game where you walk out going, damn, you lost on the road, but boy, I thought they played hard. They didn't even want to be there for a vast majority of that game. And it's infuriating to see that and then see them come out and play like this, because there's no excuse for them to ever play like they did at Auburn or at Georgia. So anybody who was pissed off about that and said, hey, can't have that, that's got to stop, was absolutely right in saying that. That doesn't make them out on the basketball team or I'm a hater or I think they suck. No, they look like crap in that game, and they're very clearly better than what they showed.
Listen, I'm not saying we have to be like morons that live in every moment and just go like crazy. And I feel like for the most part, I mean, we talk about the Hogs every single day. Right. I feel like for the most part, we kind of give a fair assessment of the overall picture and look at things from a big picture standpoint. But you got to understand, it's a post-game show. Like, we are currently doing the Arkansas-Vanderbilt post-game reaction, which is why we are very positive. We are talking about Arkansas-Vanderbilt. Right. We're talking about how the game went out, how we feel about it. When you play well, we're going to talk good. When you play poorly, we're going to talk bad. And that doesn't mean we dismiss you and say you're not going to make the tournament and all that. In fact, we pushed against that last post-game show. We were like, hey, relax. This isn't the end of the road for Arkansas. It's okay to accept something for what it is, but also move forward and still take a big picture approach. And I think we definitely do that. And you obviously do that every single day talking about the team. It's not like you're just not looking at the big picture. You do it every single day.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I just want to break that. And again, like I appreciate Brandon. I see him in there all the time, but that's not really how this works. So anyway, John has informed us that we need to play this Cal opening and that it's long and electric. Okay. And so we're going to do that, and then we'll get back into your chats. Let's see what Cal had to say about this one.
I don't know what to tell you. Why? Do we get arrogant, win a game, play well, and then go and just act like the other team's going to lay down? Are we looking for the easiest way? I don't want to come in every day ready to play. I just wanted to, when you have a chance to being a special team, and individually, you have a chance to change your life forever, and you just, I didn't feel like it today. I don't get it. I don't understand it. This team bringing DJ off the bench was for one reason. I needed to get him going. So I wanted him to be the point guard. So when he went in, he handled the ball.
I don't want to take a victory lap here.
Yeah.
But
you should.
Noted. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
So he had the ball more in his hand where he could then just go play. And he did great. Started Carter to get him going. And I said to him, rebound, defend, block some shots. Don't worry about this bag over here. Leave that over there. Just do these things. It doesn't take skill. It doesn't take confidence. Go do all this, and that other stuff will happen for you. Still took a couple threes he didn't need to take. What happened when he drove it? Head on the rim. Now, why wouldn't you do that more if that's who you are, unless you want to show something out? Don't worry about showing play. Malik's getting better, but we need more motor from him, more toughness from him. But he's way better. I kind of like Malik Thomas starting. I thought it was pretty.
I kind of like Malik Thomas starting too. All right. I kind of like that too. Great idea to throw him in the lineup there. Hey, and Kentucky fans who are in here, eat your heart out. All right. Because I know how pissed you were for an entire year in his last year over there. And I know there were multiple other years where they were just so mad. He won't make a change. He won't start his best players. I think it's highly ironic and also funny that he did it here. Finally, it took him too long, but he did it here. Good on him for adapting.
Pretty good for him too. And I took Darius out in the second because he was going through the motions of playing. Well, then you're not playing. I don't care who you are. You're going to sit and watch the game now. And then he went in. He was mad at me, and he played well because he was mad at me. And he thought I was like, yeah, he won't like. No, I love it. Be mad at me all the time. Just play like that. My point to him is, instead of just worrying about being a really good player, how about be the best player in the country? That means you got to come every game, and you can't over dribble. Just pass the ball or make a play. You're going to get your shots because of how we play. And that's what I was saying to him. But TB, you play that way. How many guys in the country are like that at 6'10"? Who? Well, then why wouldn't you play that way? Well, I just, it was just one of those, I had a bad night. What? Not when you're that good. And that's why I'm not settling. If you would have been at practice yesterday, I wasn't friendly. And I come back to, I learned this from Larry Brown. You never leave the gym where you're, I'll use the term, pissed off by yourself. You make sure everyone in the building is, including assistants, the trainers, the managers, every player, when you leave, you don't ever leave by yourself that way. You make sure, and everybody yesterday left that way.
Voila.
Yeah. Never settle. Never settle for a less than the best version of your guys. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I do too. I am going to have that saved in my arsenal. I'm going to have it on my computer, and I'm going to have it in my phone. And every single time that I've got people coming at my neck, calling me negative, calling me critical, when I say the exact same things about every one of these dudes, because knowing what they're capable of and knowing what they give sometimes are two very different things, I'm just going to send you all that exact clip and let you check it out. That's good stuff right there from John Calipari, and I appreciate everything that he had to say.
I appreciate it. You know, my favorite part of that whole clip was him talking about Malik Ewan, and he was like, hey, he's much, much better, but we still need more motor from him. Mm-hmm. He played Malik Ewan 24 minutes, and he's saying we still need more from him. And listen, I understand that it's a process, and, you sometimes want to have things evolve. The things that we thought that Cal was never going to do, bench DJ Wagner and bench Nick Pringle, and, bench Nick Pringle is probably a little bit of a stretch, but he's aware of what the best version of this team is. And like he said, it's not gonna stop until he gets it. And you might not get 8 guys playing their best game every single game. If all these individual guys do their job, man, Arkansas is going to be hard to beat.
Yes, they are. Filthy Tom, appreciate the super chat. Says Tanner had a plus minus of minus 36. Is that for real? I don't know why you'd lie about it.
Hell, it was a 35-point game until the subs came in.
Yeah, he sure did. Minus 36. The next worst was minus 23. Dang. Whew. That's rough stuff.
The nerds aren't going to like that one.
No, they're not. Jafra, appreciate you, says, good to know we can do to others what Georgia did to us. Yes, it is. It is good to know.
They had just done it the game before Georgia, too.
Yeah, to South Carolina. The main thing for me now is I just want to see Arkansas go on the road and, do their thing.
Play well on the road. That's what you want?
Yeah, that's it. They beat Ole Miss on the road, but, I don't even know that Oklahoma would all of a sudden say, oh, they figured it all out on the road, but just don't go there and lose. Don't go there and get down 17-2 in the first few minutes of the game. So, I'll be anxious to see that, but we got to get through LSU first. Yeah. And LSU had a rough one at Florida. A lot of teams are going to. I saw they got their point guard back. He did not play well in this basketball game. He's been out for a minute. How healthy is he for this Arkansas game? Are they even going to play it? I haven't looked at the latest updates from the Canadian model or whatever's going on with the meteorology stuff, but I don't even know if they're going to be able to get here to play the game, or if they try to play it early or play it later. So I feel like it's going to be kind of a TBD type of situation on that front. I wish LSU would just fly here tonight, like fly from Gainesville to Fayetteville, be here, and then, hey, I know all y'all from Central Arkansas want to come to the game, but maybe the students can just hike it. We've got a lower bowl full of students. I just want to play. I don't want to wait a week to see this team again. You got some momentum, so let's keep this thing rolling a little bit.
You might just get that high school basketball girls boys doubleheader on Sunday is what you might get.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. T Razorback says Billy got screwed on that clean block.
He did. Dude.
That was a heck of a play. That one really irritated me, obviously, because that's a highlight type of deal. Billy did not make friends with the officials in this game. He had a couple calls that were just soft against him, and that block, that was a heck of a play. It's crazy.
And by the way, Billy, you want to talk about guys coming off the bench, and obviously he's done it before. As soon as he got in the game, showed that motor, and he was playing great ball before he got into foul trouble. Usually when people complain about block calls, they look up at the ball and say, oh, it was all ball. That's not a foul. And there's usually body contact. There was zero body contact on this Billy block. He just straight up touched the ball without even touching the guy at all, and he was right to be upset.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's we've asked this question already, Joffrey. I hope you got to hear the answer, but he says, wonder what the Twitter losers say about Acuff tonight.
Facts.
I mean,
Cook.
That was
Well, it wasn't even like it's funny. It would be one thing if like Acuff just played his best game of the year. It was a very standard Acuff game. And like Cal said, there was a stretch where he was not one of Arkansas's best players, which is also what you said 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Listen, I think that just kind of shows you there's some stability to his game. Despite being 6'2", he doesn't fluctuate like all these other small guards who can't get their shot off in certain matchups. There has not been a defense thrown at him that he can't figure out.
Yeah. Yes. 100%. Sharkensaw, good to see, man, says, don't let this team figure out the backside defensive rotations. That was a big part of this. Just more urgency, moving while the ball was in the air. Vanderbilt, they've been really, really good all year against every team of whether it's Tanner or Miles. They kind of get into the paint and they just kind of probe in there, and they're surveying, and they just do just enough to draw help, and they're always able to dump it down and get the layups or whatever. That's why their bigs, who aren't very good, wind up putting up some pretty decent numbers, because they're just kind of hanging out in the dunker spot, and those guards make so many plays. Arkansas was having none of that in this game. Their rotations were on point. They got a lot of, they may not have had a ton of steals, but they got a lot of deflections, or tapping them out of bounds and having them start again, or just being in position to where they couldn't even make those passes. And that was that's a good observation on your part there. That was probably the most improved part of what Arkansas did defensively, besides just simply sitting down and keeping your man in front, just not getting beat off the dribble the way that they have. They've got it in them to be a decent to solid defensive team.
Hey, Curtis, can you start waving for just a second real quick?
Yeah.
Goodbye, Cats by 21. Good night, buddy. Hey, we'll see you tomorrow, because we know you'll be right back. He has bowed out from the chat. He has bowed out. He has seen enough, he says.
For what reason?
Just not happy. Not a happy camper tonight. I don't know.
Is he mad because Arkansas won and he's in an Arkansas post game? Is it?
I think that's what it is. Don't you hate it whenever your rival wins and you go to their post game chat and get sad?
It must be a tough one there.
It's a tough world, man.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Cyberbullying's not real. Just turn off the computer. Just kidding. We really do love you, Cats, or at least Curtis does. I can say. I wouldn't say we love you. Curtis loves you.
Yeah, if it wasn't for me, buddy, you probably would have got the hammer by now, man.
You would have been out of here, bro.
No, I like Cats. Let's see. Filthy Tom leaks look away 3. Yeah.
I mean, dude, by the way, so full disclosure, shout out to our guys over at Bet SARACEN. We love them.
Yes.
I had a little bet in this game, guys. This is how you know you're a pro. Arkansas an alternate spread -5.5, plus Malik Thomas to make 3 threes, plus 500. Those two things together. He hit 2 threes back to back early in the first half, and then I was like, "Holy cow!" He just stopped shooting. Like, what's going on? Finally, I mean, he cashed it in the coolest way possible, and then he almost hit another one after that. It was beautiful stuff, and I thought he was just really impressive on both ends of the floor tonight.
Yeah, he was, man. It was beautiful stuff. You know what else is beautiful stuff? Blue Ember Smokehouse. I
does look
kind of
good.
it's tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday, but it's not the first Wednesday of the month. That's too bad because I'd like to go there and chow down on some really, really good barbecue. If you haven't done so already, you need to, and you don't have to be in Northwest Arkansas to do it. They've got 6 locations scattered throughout the state: Fort Smith, Jonesboro, Texarkana, Little Rock, Hot Springs, and Rogers. You can see the numbers there on your screen if you want to hit them up. And if you can't make it out there, you can have them cater one of your events: weddings, parties, business meetings, really any type of gathering where a bunch of folks want to eat some amazing barbecue. Blue Ember has you covered. So check out your local location, get out to Blue Ember Smokehouse, or just check out their website, www.blueembersmokehouse.com. All right. Back at it in the chat. We got a lot to get to, man. People were fired up about this win. Good to see, because they were not happy over the weekend, I learned. So it's always better to do these things when the Razorbacks get a nice little dub.
What a concept, man. Fans
How about that?
upset when their team loses and happy when they win. Wow.
Man, yeah, it's wild, right? Hickory Hog, appreciate the super chat. We don't have the cool soundboard buttons like John does, but yes.
No.
Yes. Oh man, that was on point. John Neighbors gets an A+ for being the producer in this one. That was good stuff. Tonight we got 3J Wagner, Dunk It DJ, and Defense DJ. Yes, you did. I prefer that than 1 for 5 Wags, which is what he has been far too often lately. So this is the world that we need DJ Wagner to live in here. It says Leak throws a spark in the starting lineup, and Billy DJ and Ewan came in at 1,000 miles per hour off the bench. Woo MF Pig. Amen, brother, to every bit of that there.
Did DJ what did he finish from the floor today? 5 for 8?
5 for where the hell is he at? Yeah, 5 for 8. 1 of 3 from 3.
That's back-to-back midweeks that he has gone 5 for 8 from the floor. He might just be midweek DJ.
Hey, you know
Sometimes
what?
You need a little midweek starter, you know?
Yeah, man. Why not? Shout out Colin Fisher, you know?
DJ Wagner is the Colin Fisher of this squad. We can agree on that.
Those band geeks, thank you, says like and sub. Yes, please do that while you're here. We appreciate it. Way to go, DJ. Vibes are great. Woo Pig Suey. Yes, the vibes are restored. Needed that. I'm very particular about, especially when Arkansas plays on a Tuesday during the season. I'm like, my God, please win, because we've got like extra days built into our show, to the Pot, the Palace, and everything before they play again. Mm-hmm. After a dub, great. We can have a lot of fun with it, and we can get creative. After a loss, just like people don't want to hear about it, I kind of dread doing it a little bit, because I'm like, man, how am I going to captivate an audience that's upset right now? I don't want to continue to be mad about this. So good on Arkansas for getting it done. I appreciate them.
Yeah, Tuesday to Saturday would have been a long break, but also they might not have played Saturday, you know.
Yeah,
and even also, if they had lost tonight, even if you beat LSU by 150, no one would have came away from that and been like, oh, so it's all even. Hell, right. You could have beat Oklahoma. People still would have been pissed. Earlier on the show today, we were looking ahead, and listen, one game at a time. We respect everyone. Anything can happen in the league. Like, I'm really not going to look over any of these games as they come along, but you looked at this stretch of 4 or 5 games here. This Vanderbilt game might have been the hardest one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games that Arkansas will be favored in coming up. To get this one out of the way and do it in such a dominant way to secure your metrics pretty much solidifies as an Arkansas as an NCAA tournament team, and it sets them up to where they can get right back into this league mix.
Yes. Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Derek Tips, we appreciate it, says Tanner thought he was good until he met Acuff. Yeah, he got humbled in this one a little bit. You can watch on TV and you can tell, like, okay, he's probably not quite as tall as they say he is, and yeah, he's not very big or whatever. And he's an explosive player, and he's super quick. Like I haven't seen anybody be able to kind of keep Acuff in front as well as Tanner did. He just Darius was too strong. You know, like he was able to physically get past, but like in terms of moving his feet and the quickness, he's really good at it. Dude's skinny, man. He's a small dude in there, and it definitely showed in this basketball game for sure. We've got Lanky. Boom, there it is. Cal's lineup rotations tonight was Hall of Fame level stuff. Hey,
I would agree with this. And listen, it wasn't just the starting lineup, which obviously he chose and worked pretty well. Arkansas's best start in a while. When the other guys came in, it was good. And then I also loved him sticking with Ewan and the way that he staggered the minutes with DJ and Acuff in the second half to let both of those guys continue to be on ball. I really thought it was probably the best game Cal's had all year, frankly. If we're grading performances, good stuff.
Yeah, no, it certainly was. I wanted to see where were Carter's. Okay, yeah, he wound up playing 30. So, yeah, 31 for Leak, 34 for A-Cuff, 32 for TB, 30 for Carter. So, like, playing your dudes a high amount of minutes there. But, yeah, everybody was able to eat. Pringle plays 16, and he was productive in his. I didn't have a problem with any minute that he played, and that's not always the case. DJ, to do what he did, we would love to get that type of stat line production from DJ on these nights where he's playing 31 minutes. He did it in 16. Highly efficient while he was out there. That was great. Billy probably would have played more than 14 if he didn't get in the foul trouble there. Sure. Fine, but then yeah, I'm with you. Ewan comes in. Hey, if he's not going to start. Most nights he's probably going to still wind up playing more minutes at the 5, and he did in this game, 24-16. If Pringle's going to play like that, great. Like I've got no problem with it whatsoever. I agree, Lanky. I thought Cal did a good job with it tonight. Walla Walla Hog says, commit this tape to memory. Yes, do not burn this tape. Burn it into your memory banks, man. Yeah.
Put it in the freezer, man.
Yeah, that's a good call right there. That's a good super chat. We appreciate you. Exclusive Carts is here. You love to see it. Says TB with the double-double. Yes. DJ looked awesome tonight on both sides of the ball. Yes. And nice to see Pringle get some good, solid minutes. Nick Pringle, hey, you know what? If he just catches passes, he's not too bad in there. Here's the thing. Throw him the passes above the rim. Throw it to him at the top of the square and let him go get it. Nothing else. Nothing that involves him having to overexert himself or put it on the floor too much. No, throw it up top, let him go get it.
Yeah, TB botched that one lob, but Ewan and Pringle both had some like high difficulty lobs that they had no problem with. It was crazy.
Yeah. I was a little bit worried. We were kind of laughing about it, it's not funny if he's hurting. He's probably just sore. But when Pringle came walking back out at halftime with that back brace on, that hot pack, we were like, oh God, not again.
He didn't do anything during the second half shoot around. He was just standing out there, which he's not taking jumpers. It's fine. But
right. Because that was the beginning of the end, because early in the season, Pringle was actually doing a pretty good job in there. He started wearing that hot pack around in the games, and it was like production just fell off of a cliff. So it was good to see him continue to play well after having that thing on. Shout out to Fishman for throwing out the Inside Arkansas memberships there. Thank you for that.
Casting a wide net, I guess you could say.
There we go. Fishman's definitely in a better mood. Fishman was not happy after the Georgia game the other day or today in the chat. So good to see he's feeling.
I've seen a couple of the most miserable human beings on this planet that have actually been pleased with Arkansas's performance tonight.
Thank God. No, that's good. That's
Some
good.
That weren't, but there were a few that were.
Yeah. Jamel Jones, thank you. We appreciate it. He says, Leaks, no-look 3 should raise the NIL alone. Love that.
Curtis, you might have to break it down tomorrow on the show. I think that might have been the quickest, because there's a lot of people that have done it. Steph Curry, I would say, made it famous, the turnaround 3. Swaggy P tried to make it famous. There's a lot of people that have done it and done it well. I think Malik might have turned around quicker than anybody else. He was fully already facing the other direction. The ball still had like 8 feet left before it reached the hoop. I think that might have been the quickest, if we time it, the quickest turnaround.
It very well might be, man. Very well might be. We'll get the stopwatch on it. We've got a super chat from John Cunningham, which we appreciate. We have two super chats from John Cunningham. There it is. Thank you. Appreciate interns Cameron and Gigi in there. Says, thought the refs swallowed the whistle in the first half.
Yes, they did.
Both halves, honestly. Arkansas had 15 fouls total in this game, and Vanderbilt had 14. Vanderbilt, actually, they wound up getting to the free throw line 19 times. I must have missed a lot of those. And Arkansas shot 12 free throws. That is not the norm with in the Vanderbilt basketball game. Yeah, I did too. When they played Alabama a couple of weeks ago, there were 88 free throws in that basketball game, and that was just not the case in this one. But I think it made for a better watch, better game. And hell, we're almost done with this show, and it's only 11 o'clock. There was a chance we would just be starting right now.
Yes.
So thankful for that. Oh boy. I feel like Rufus is going to challenge me here with my Oracle skills. It's always good to see Rufus in here, and we appreciate the super chat. And again, if and when you decide to make the trek to beautiful Bud Walton Arena, you got to let us know.
For sure.
From Rufus, he says, the Rims endured an indecorous number of dunks, suffered with such force and ferocity that one pitied them almost as deeply as poor Tanner, an unfortunate visitor repeatedly overmatched by young A-Cuff. Bravo.
I love that he calls people like young whatever. Like that's literally how Yoda talks, where he'd be like, young Skywalker, always, that's how he talks about people. I love everything about Rufus, everything about the way he carries himself.
Yeah, that's big time. That's an elite super chat right there. Derek, thanks again for the love, man. We appreciate that. He says 6-man Wagner running the point with A-Cuff at the 2 changes everything going forward. Knox being Killigan Carter. I like that. Takes us over the top. Yeah, when Carter plays like that, Arkansas is going to be very tough to beat for sure. I think you're onto something with the Wagner stuff here. There can be times where Wagner and A-Cuff share the floor together, and it could actually take a little bit of pressure off and take some off the legs of A-Cuff to just slide him off ball for a few possessions. And he can still be in attack mode. Like they can just run their initial action and let DJ do all the work, probing the ball screens and, fighting through the on-ball pressure and everything like that. And you just get Darius A-Cuff his touches a little bit later. He's such a knockdown shooter that's something you can get away with. I don't hate that one bit. It doesn't have to be every minute that they're out there, but I think it's, again, 1 game sample size, but DJ better on the ball and better in the type of situation, type of role that he had tonight. So Hickory Hog still in here says Tyler Tanner looks like Beckham Black pre-growth spurt. He needs some milk. Yes, we talked about this, and I said to Andrew, I think the reason I don't like him is because he wants to be Anthony Black. He wants to look like Anthony Black, and Beckham is probably a better comparison, I guess.
I know Tyler Tanner coming into tonight had a better 3-point shooting percentage. He kind of plays like if Anthony Black were 5'10".
Yeah.
Which, listen, that's still a pretty good basketball player, but, I really think that's just what he is.
I think you're right.
Which may still be an NBA player, but he is just 5'10" Anthony Black and looks like Beckham Black.
I'm looking forward to doing our next Inside SEC Basketball live show, because I don't want to do it here, but, I think there's a conversation to be had about Vanderbilt. How good are they at this point? It's 3 losses in a row for them, so they're clearly going through a funk. I'm telling you right now, Vanderbilt's significantly better than the way they played tonight. They kind of did pull an Arkansas here, but Arkansas, kind of punished them into submission or whatever. But I'm anxious to see what the games look like tomorrow, and then we kind of do a reset of where everything is with this league. Have we learned? Have we found a little bit more clarity? Florida very clearly still probably at the top of the pecking order there, but at some point we're going to start getting the actual real separation. Maybe it happens a little bit after this weekend. Maybe it's as we flip the calendar to February, but some interesting results in this league, man.
You could look at Vanderbilt, and clearly there's a home road thing. I mean, even their game Saturday, they played well at home, but just didn't win. And they're still dangerous at home, can beat literally anyone. Their win over Bama, I think, has aged poorly with how Bama's played, where they've just kind of hung around with bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a depleted Bama that didn't have their star player for the second half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And and so I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, they're clearly bad on the road. Like they've been blown out twice in a row, one of those by Texas. They're bad on the road and they're good at home, but are they really good enough to get them like a top-notch resume with just no real road wins?
Right. Yeah. We'll find out. OKC, appreciate it. Good to see OKC in here. Says we figure out how to play like this on the road, we win the SEC. I mean, yeah,
sure.
But just figuring out how to play period on the road could have him in a pretty good spot there. He says, great dub. Maybe Vandy should not have played a cupcake non-con. A-Cuff is a top 5 pick. A-Cuff is a lottery pick.
Top 5 is gonna be hard.
I don't know if he's gonna get top 5. He could play his way in the top 10, but
real quick, Curtis, someone in the chat was having an aneurysm. Do you think Darius A-Cuff is better than Darren Peterson? He asked it at least 30 times.
No.
I was gonna say definitely not as a prospect. College player, we can, I'd have to really look at the numbers. But now Darren Peterson's a top 3 pick, I think.
Right.
And Acuff is a lottery pick, to be clear.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and they're different types of players. Peterson's special. You know, if he wasn't dealing with the leg cramps or I don't really know what's going on there. And I know that they're really trying to do some load management and baby him and everything, but he's done some very much next level stuff. Taller, longer, better profile defensively. Like there's, as a prospect, he's definitely better there. Now, I would love to see those two guys matched up on a basketball floor. Hell, it just seems like every year we see Arkansas and Kansas playing each other. So maybe, I don't know.
I think the chatter who was going crazy about it. I think Kansas is playing right now, and he started 3 for 9 in that game. So I think that's what it was all based around. But he was going crazy in the chat. I just wanted to bring that up before we get out of here.
Gotcha. No, I mean, no, he's not as good of a prospect as Peterson is. Objectively speaking. Yeah.
Which is okay. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Acuff's one of the best players in college basketball. And
I think that top 3 of the draft, I mean, you're going to have Boozer, Peterson, and DeBansa, I feel like are locked in as the top 3 college players.
For sure.
They're kind of they're in their own tier, I would say.
Yeah. There's a lot of folks that I listen to that cover this stuff and cover the draft and everything that have said, even as Peterson hasn't even been playing that much, or he spent large periods of time out, Boozer's doing the things that he's doing. DeBansa's doing what he's doing. Other guys have emerged that most NBA scouts, you ask, like, okay, well, who's your number 1 pick? And it's like a consensus, Darren Peterson. Like he is the can't miss guy. So, you know.
Many are saying he's Kobe with an efficient jump shot.
Man, it's good to see that he has maybe had an inefficient game tonight. But anyway, sorry, I didn't see that. Yeah, once we really get into the chat, just so everybody understands, we have the full chat that's rolling through, and there's so much going on there. But then we've got our interns and everybody helping us out with. We've got the super chats and the things that we star that we make sure we want to get to that are all on a separate tab. So like the rolling conversation, once we get into this, I don't even really see it. So I wasn't ignoring you in there.
And listen, we're not trying to make it a thing where it's like you have to pay to talk to us or whatever.
No.
But on a night like this where it's a lot of viewers and a lot of people that are, credit to it, a lot of people that are donating, a lot of people that are doing super chats, you definitely got to people that are paying, we're not going to just skip over them.
Sure.
So
yeah.
It takes a while to get through it all. And we're going over an hour here, man. We're trying to get through it all.
Yeah, absolutely. And we appreciate everybody that's in here hanging out with us. Thank you for that. Kingsley. There it is. Okay. I knew we had another one. Me and Cameron hit at the same time there. He said Leake's handle looked really good. I'm glad you brought this up because there's sometimes he's been a little bit loose, a little bit shaky with that thing throughout the course of the season. And then he's got that hand all wrapped up and you're thinking, I don't know, you got a couple guards from Vanderbilt who both have like over 40 steals this season. What is this going to look like? I think you're right, man. I mean, in terms of confidence and being efficient with his handle, he wasn't over dribbling. He was decisive with it, creating space with his first step. I thought he looked really good with the rock in his hands in this game. It wasn't just about making threes for Leak in this one. He did a lot. He played a really good floor game.
Real quick, I think I don't know if you saw this text that John sent us. We got a super chat from our boy Captain Solo.
Hey, Captain Solo.
An off-camera super chat for an undisclosed amount of money.
I like that.
But he says, Woo Pig Suey, keep up the fantastic work. Captain and Mrs. Solo. Did we run into Captain Solo tonight?
No way.
Maybe not.
If we
ran into a lot of people, though, I will say.
If we did,
a lot of people.
Solo was not properly introduced,
But shout out to him. I mean, he comes through on a lot of these. And
that's awesome. We play a button.
Come on, John. Play a button for us, buddy.
Okay, good.
Love it. Good stuff.
I love it, man. Derek, appreciate you for gifting the Inside Arkansas membership. Thank you guys for all this, man. It's very cool. Arkansas says, I just don't think half-court teams can run with these guys. You have to increase possessions and variance to have a shot. Yeah, listen, when Arkansas is out in the open floor, they're really tough to deal with. And especially when it's like counter to someone else's style, they can make you uncomfortable in a hurry. I think that's why I was so surprised at how uncomfortable Arkansas looked at Georgia. Because Georgia plays fast and they'll pressure and everything like that. But you kind of look at it with the way these teams have played, and it's like Arkansas, that great. Like the faster they play, the better they look. So I was highly confident they were going to have a lot of success offensively in that game until they didn't. But I think that was just a little bit more about, maybe a lack of focus or whatever going into the game. But I'm with you, man. If you're a team that does not like a track meet, Arkansas ain't who you want to see, especially at Bud Walton Arena. Ryan says DJ's way better on ball than off. Great chain. I mean, it seems like
it's undeniable at this point, honestly.
Yeah, no doubt. Shout out to Paddlefish, a member for a couple months here with us. We've got JD Miller, who's been a member for 5 months. Thank you. Says Bud looked great on TV tonight. Favorable schedule coming up. Let's stack some dubs. Woo Pig Subi from Kansas City. Y'all stay safe in the weather coming here. All those things. Awesome atmosphere, man. Really good crowd in there at Bud Walton Arena. We weren't sure about it early, but it filled in a hurry as we got closer to the game, and I was pretty impressed. Impressed. It might have actually been better than the Vanderbilt crowd.
Yeah.
The Louisville crowd, I meant.
It was at least as good as that for sure.
Yeah. It was a good one. And no doubt, stay safe with the weather coming here. If you look at 10 different, forecasts or projections, you see 10 different things. And I know we're still a few days out, so it'll get a little bit more solidified the closer we get to it. But it seems like a consensus for most folks, at least prior to the game. I haven't seen anything since then, but folks are like, hey, we don't know how bad it's going to be yet, but it's going to be bad. It's going to be a lot. I saw some stuff about like 18 to 24 inches earlier today, and that seems crazy to me. So I don't know. Also from JD Miller, he says, love what y'all do. Best Razorback coverage in the business. Woo Pig Suey. Thank you, man. It's very kind of you. We appreciate that. And shout out to you up there in Kansas City. Are you one who comes to Bud Walton Arena and towards the end of the national anthem yells Chiefs?
Is that where do you like the Chiefs or the Stars worse? Because
I think I dislike the Chiefs more. The Stars, at least it's in the song, Like if you just want to yell that word when it's time to get to that word in the song, then okay. But I don't know. You know who doesn't like any of it?
Words. That's
Andrew Hutchinson doesn't like any of it. He gets so mad, bro. Oh man. Shout out to Randy and here a new member.
Heck
Good
yeah.
stuff. We've got a Cubs fan. I won't hold that against you. It's fine. He says, I appreciate the post-game live. I generally have to watch y'all's pod afterwards. It's cool to chat live. Keep up the great work and Woo Pig Suey. Thank you. We're glad you're here, especially given the circumstances. I know it's late for folks out there. You got to get to work early in the morning. I think it helps that Arkansas put belt to ass on Vanderbilt here tonight. It's hard to go to sleep right after that happens, We've got OKC in here again. Thanks, buddy. Says the draft analysts on X are special needs. I'm convinced almost all of them have blocked me for calling them out. Acuff is the best guard in college basketball. Woo Pig Suey. Spoken as a true Razorback fan right there.
Love that.
Oh, man. Jacob Botwinick says Kentucky sucks and go Hogs. This had to have come out around the time that did Katz actually leave, by the way?
No, he didn't leave. He stuck around for a while.
Okay.
But yeah, this had to be in response to him, I'd imagine.
I love it. I absolutely love it. We've got Kaylin Hitchens. Appreciate you. Says, Curtis, question for you. Do your views drop when we lose? Because I can't stand to think about the Hogs until they win again. Be looking forward to 5 a.m. Yes, they do. But it depends on how it happens, okay? When you have a game like you had against Auburn or against Georgia where it's kind of a no-show and it's a blowout and it looked like they didn't even care, well, why would you? And so, yes, there's a pretty significant drop-off when that happens. If it's a close game and a battle, or if it's a controversial game, if there's something that you can hang on to that makes you want to hear more about it, then it's really not that big of a drop-off. But yes, you know what? I tell you what, after the Auburn game, it was pretty significant where I was like, damn, it kind of made me feel like, gosh, man, I put a lot of work into this. And y'all kind of jumped off the cliff on me here. It really wasn't that bad after Georgia. The report card didn't get as much as it usually does, but after that, we picked right back up and it was okay.
Quick turnaround, Hells. But yeah, it takes unique circumstances, which we got last year where Kentucky fans were watching so much during Arkansas's 0-5 start that our views were actually pretty good. And then, of course, if you lose in a disastrous way, like losing in the NCAA tournament, like making 3 errors in the final inning of the season, those usually have a high attendance.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Kingsley had another super chat that there we go. Talking to Michelle says the one about house divided. Oh yeah, he was trolling his wife. That's right. The Vandy grad over there.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, you
just have to kind of cheer to yourself in those moments, I think.
It's okay. Hey, you're having a great season for your standards over there.
Sure.
Levels to this. It's okay. It's
a lot of smart athletes on that squad for sure.
Yeah. Kirk Herbstreit or somebody said that Vanderbilt's not going anywhere in football. So that makes you feel better. And you have that to look forward to. And we don't know yet if we do or not. So I did want to pull this one up real quick, though. From Seth, he says, intern Cameron gets all the airtime. The real ball knowers that know that intern Gigi is putting in that work for Pot at the Palace too. It's 100% true, man. 100% true.
Hey, that's you're a real Pot at the Palace listener if you're familiar with intern Gigi.
Yeah, intern Gigi is just killing it back there behind the scenes, and we appreciate her a ton. Rumor has it, I don't think this happened yet, but she might be making an on-camera appearance soon, debut soon. Because we've had all our interns join in John on the Sunday Scaries. So at some point we're gonna talk her into doing
Hopefully
that.
John doesn't get deathly ill again.
Yeah, we can't have that. He's bounced back well. He kind of bounced back like the Razorbacks did. So
yeah, I would say
good for
so.
John. Good for John. And then yes, Cameron's killing it. Cameron's asked more questions to John Calipari than all of us combined. So good on Cameron, man. Let's see. We've got Jacob back in here. He says, any chance game day is in Fayetteville next weekend? Yeah, sure.
I think it's very possible.
I think there's a very real chance of that. I remember the last time Arkansas got game day that I was setting up on press row the weekend before, and one of the assistants on staff shot me a text message and said, hey, you need to watch the video board in like the next 5 minutes. Like, pay attention. Announcement coming. I was like, well, what the hell does this mean? And then they put it up there when they did the announcement that game day was coming. So maybe, I guess they'll probably announce before, since Arkansas is a night game, they wouldn't do that on Saturday. It'll already be decided, right?
I would think so. I'm looking at the schedule, by the way.
Okay.
Illinois, or wait a minute. I'm tripping. This is this weekend. Never mind.
31st. Looking for the 31st.
CBS app won't let me scroll that far.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm useless. I'm sorry.
It should. I mean, they missed the boat last year. I don't think Duke Carolina plays on that day. Maybe they do. I don't know, but they got to get down here for that one. And some of it's going to be up to Kentucky. They've kind of turned it around. They're playing better. If they win a couple more games here and they're still having a solid season, Arkansas is handling their business, there's a chance it could even be a ranked matchup. Like you got to do it for this one. Either way, it's going to be a madhouse. It's gonna
easy television storylines for days.
Yeah, for sure. Logan, who's insane.
He had a good night. He had a better night than any of us, including Carter Knox, including everyone.
Yeah, good
and
on
he's
you.
He's a DJ Wagner boy, so this is like truly the best night of his life.
Feeling good, feeling great, man. Love it. Good on you. In case you're wondering, he's financially set for life now, thanks to this game. So, Dylan Madden, our man, we appreciate you. Says, shout out Sharkansas. What up, big bro? How's everyone liking the roller coaster ride? It's there's no lack of entertainment. It's definitely been a roller coaster here recently, and I think that's just kind of the way it is in the SEC this year. Mm-hmm. Here's what I hope. And maybe it's going to be like this the rest of the season. And if so, guess what? Arkansas is going to win a lot of games. We're going to have some really cool moments just like this one. And they're going to get a good seed, and we'll see what happens in the tournament. But what I hope is that we get the similar trajectory from Arkansas that we had last year without them tanking early. Mm-hmm. Because they continue to get better and better and better as the season went along. And they were just a team you didn't want to deal with once you got to the postseason. Can they do that this year? Can they continue to build on things, improve defensively, get these other guys who, now that you tweak the lineup to kind of master their role and be playing your best ball when you get to March? Like, take this thing to another level. I hope so. Like, maybe the losing 2 out of 3 and having a couple ugly road games, can that be like the little hiccup area for this team? I'm not saying they're going to win every game the rest of the year. They're not. They're going to take some more losses here. But can they rattle some off? Can we get some streaks? Can we get 3 in a row, 4 in a row before you take an L? And can we see that defensive efficiency just kind of keep creeping up there to where we're going into March thinking, oh, hell yeah, this is we're on to something here. Because right now, with the variance that you have in some of these games and the vulnerability they've shown defensively, we've talked about this a lot, Andrew, where it's like, shoot, given the right matchups, and if if Acuff and Leak are rolling or whatever, this team could make they could get to a Final Four, but they could also get popped in the round of 64 because of some of the dumb things that they do sometimes. And just a little bit more consistency and raising that floor on defense. And I think we feel a lot better about things here in a few weeks. I think we did it. Did we make it through?
I think we made it through.
I think we made it through.
And appreciate everybody for making this happen. You know, I mean, we go
man.
as long as you guys want us to go for the most part. And so it's good, man.
Cool.
We're past 11 o'clock and people are grooving. People are happy. The vibes are very good here.
Yes, no doubt about it. What's your parting wisdom for everybody who's in here hanging out after just a hell of a night in Fayetteville? And we said it a few times that we need to end on this. Like, that was really impressive what Arkansas did. That's the best they've looked all season, their most complete game. And it's against one of the better, not the best, but one of the better teams that they played this season. More of that. Thank you. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I said it before. I think this is their best, most complete, well-rounded team win where literally everyone contributed to it. Got the scrubs in there late. I just think it's one of those, just how you drew it up, everything goes perfect. And, will they be able to replicate it on the road? I don't know, but it's just nice to know it's in there. Got a lot of ball left to be played, a lot of big opportunities in front of Arkansas. And, we're going to continue ramping up just as much as we hope the Razorbacks continue building to March. We hope that the experience kind of following this whole thing with us throughout the year, the excitement for you guys builds as well. And we go into March a damn wrecking ball, the whole state just traveling around, doing whatever we got to do. I'm excited to watch this team get to the tournament already.
Yeah, loving it, man. It's really good stuff. That's a second SEC win for Arkansas by 25 or more points, and a third by double digits. So they're doing some good things, even though they tend to irritate us a little bit from time to time. But big win for the Razorbacks, 93-68 over Vanderbilt. That's going to be a good one for the resume. I'm anxious to see what all that stuff looks like tomorrow. We'll do a little bit of a resume refresh after the report card. Make sure you tune in for that also in the morning. And subscribe to the Inside Arkansas YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Find us wherever you find your podcast, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen. But we're going to get out of here for now. So for Andrew Ellis and intern Gigi and intern Cameron and producer John, I'm Curtis Wilkerson. We appreciate everybody for hanging out with us, and we will catch you next time.